What's up everybody, welcome back to the channel and to another Lost Ark video. Now my name is The Full Measure, but when I play Lost Ark I am a filthy casual, and I've released a series of videos specifically targeting new players, or players rather that have just reached 50 and are trying to get into chaos dungeons as fast as possible and do them as fast as possible to get those materials so that they can upgrade their gear score. Now my criteria for creating these builds are that they need to be beginner friendly as stated, so you don't need to have some investment of going to a lot of different islands to get different skill potions and all of that, and that the amount of skill points that are available to you at the time of hitting 50 is sufficient to build these. Secondly, we lean heavily into AoE damage because we want to be able to deal as much damage to a bigger group of enemies as possible, because that is definitely the most efficient way of doing chaos dungeons. Now the class that we're going to be looking at today is the Artillerist. The Artillerist is perfectly suited for chaos dungeons because it is a class that excels at dealing such huge, massive amounts of damage in big areas around it. So it really was a joy building this, and actually I've been having a lot of fun playing the Artillerist. Now the skill tree that's on the screen right now, or the skill build rather, is essentially what I would use as a blueprint, as a starting point to do this. And of course you can chop and change things around as you want. What this is going to do though is it's going to afford you two very big AoEs that you can use: air raid on the one side and homing barrage on the other. Now you also do have gravity explosion, but gravity explosion works a little bit different in the fact that you have to channel it and then time it perfectly right to sort of proc the effect, but it doesn't make it any less lethal. Now generally speaking, you want to be using something like barrage first, or homing barrage rather, because that actually leaves behind an AoE area which still damages enemies, and in that time what you could do is, for instance, pull down another air raid on top of them or do a gravity explosion, but nonetheless nothing usually survives that combo, and it tends to decimate entire clusters of enemies. Now with the Artillerist you also have access to some conal AoEs, which with proper positioning can allow you to deal a lot of damage to a group of enemies that are clumped together. This is like, for instance, multiple rocket launcher and flamethrower. Both of those are really good as well, and exceptionally good at punching through some damage to bosses. Now what is really cool about the Artillerist as well is that you have quite a bit of sustain and utility in the form of survivability, and that's something like, for instance, the energy field that you can activate, which basically gives you a shield and makes you that tougher to kill. So this is also something which really works out in the favor of this class, because it is kind of in that way very mistake friendly, beginner friendly, that you hardly ever can put yourself into a situation where you are taking enough damage to actually be down. Now one last thing, and we're not even talking about the awakening skill, the ultimate, which again is also huge in this game. The point is that the Artillerist's class ability or class function essentially also allows you to press the Z button to go into something called barrage mode. Now barrage mode of course gives you a whole set of new abilities and just additional ways for you to deal massive AoE damage. So about once every chaos dungeon you can do this as well. So that, combined with all the AoEs we discussed, combined with the ultimate ability of the class, which you can miss, so when you use the awakening skill be sure to get the positioning right, however allows you to just deal a whole lot of damage. And this is by far, I think, maybe stacking up it next to something like a gunslinger or maybe a sorceress. This is by far one of the most efficient classes to do chaos dungeons very easily with, but also very fast with. So that's it for the build. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far. Let me know in the comments below how you would change it, which skills you prefer with the Artillerist. Give me some pointers how you would improve this for yourself. As mentioned, I am a filthy casual in this game, so I'm always open to suggestion and making these builds even better. Or more than that, just tell me the way that you like playing the class. But like I said, thank you so much for watching. It's just super important to me that you have a fantastic morning, a great afternoon, and a super awesome evening wherever you are in the world. Until next video, fucking cheers.
They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best of me now, best of me now, best of me now, best of me. They want the best.